Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going? First of all, happy anniversary, you and Abby. How'd you celebrate?
Thank you. And we went to go see Hamilton at the Kennedy Center. Great performance. I don't know either of y'all had a chance to see it yet in on stage, but it's great. You know, it's on Disney. You can watch the original cast, but yeah, every time, you know, this is only the second time, but it's really. I'm not a big musical person, but this is one of the best forms of media out there in probably the past 20 years.
And it's been around for a while, so people are really loving it. The fact that it's still, making its rounds. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely loved it. Besides that, everything's good. You know, just enjoying this 3-day weekend. I don't know if either y'all had today off as well, but yeah, it's been kind of nice.
Yeah, I took it off because I got back from my vacation yesterday, so I needed today just to kind of get back into the mood, swing of things. But back at it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Well, I'll let you all take away movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw a movie that was in the theaters and actually still is for a couple weeks, but it is an Amazon Prime release, which means they released it this weekend as well. And it's called Catherine Called Birdie. And it's a weird title, but it's essentially based on a book in the early 90s. And it is a story of this 14-year-old girl living in this small medieval village in the I want to say 12th century, 13th century, and her father is running out of money. Their family's going broke, and so as the daughter, he's trying to marry her off to a bunch of suitors. And it's kind of it's a comedy in that sense of the path she goes through of like trying to dissuade them or scare them off, and how she goes and navigates through life. It's a fun little watch. It's directed and written by Lena Dunham of Girls fame, and it's a fun little adventure. You have a lot of for anyone familiar with Game of Thrones, it's funny how you see a lot of these characters in other things, and there's a few Game of Thrones characters in this, so you'll kind of recognize that as well. But yeah, overall, it's just kind of a fun little lighthearted story with some heart here and there. That if you're looking for something different, something that's easy to watch, and you have a Prime subscription, I would highly recommend it. And then that's all I really had time for. I've been catching up on Andor, and I know Steven, you don't watch Star Wars, don't know Star Wars, but Chike, if you had a chance to start the series, it is the prelude to Rogue One. It follows Diego Luna as Cassian Andor and kind of how he got involved with the Empire. But so far, it's great. It's really fun. It's again, just I recommend it. It's nice to be in a Star Wars world where not everyone's a Jedi or in some special like indestructible armor or with Baby Yoda. So just want to kind of check that out if you get a chance. If you have Disney Plus and you're a Star Wars fan, this one is one to watch.
Nice. I had a thought when you were talking about Hamilton. Do you think that Hamilton is our Wizard of Oz of this millennium?
That's a good question. I mean, maybe. So that's the thing. I don't watch enough musicals to compare it to a lot of other stuff. I think, Rent was the big 90s musical. And Hamilton's definitely, and maybe Wicked came out after that. I'm not sure timelines, but yeah, I think this is Hamilton is definitely one of those things that I think changed everything in theater and production, and how you can just reframe something and make it so much better. So it's a good question. I'm not sure if I know enough to answer that though.
Okay, that's fair enough. So I started a new series this weekend in the vein of Halloween. Showtime has a new series that just started. It's called Let the Right One In, and it's based off of the best-selling vampire novel by the same name. And it's a Swedish release. So it was a Swedish book, and then it became a Swedish movie, and then it became an Americanized movie by the name it's called Let the Right One. Let in the Right One or something like that. It's not Let the Right One in. It's Let in the Right One. Yeah, they reversed it. And then now they moved it to a series on Showtime. It's called Let the Right One In Again. And it's Nika Noni Rose, Grace Gummer, who happens to be Meryl Streep's daughter, and Madison Taylor Baez, who plays Ellie, the actual vampire young woman. If you're not familiar with the film, it's basically about a child vampire, and her father is her protector and her guardian, who is charged with making sure that she survives because he's trying to find a cure for her ailment, which is vampirism. And he's basically a murderer. He's murdering people for the sake of feeding her. But she befriends her neighbor, who is a young boy. And it's pretty much so far based off of the movie. It follows the movie. However, there's another twist to it where now the father is actually being more involved in finding a cure or finding out how to get to the source of her vampirism. It's pretty interesting. I do like the twist. So they're doing a remix of the movie, but also giving you a prequel at the same time. So I'm pretty interested. I'm vested. So we'll see where that goes. And again, that's I guess vampires are having another wave again because
I was just about to ask that
as well. Yeah. So
yeah
I
yeah
guess maybe next year at some point we're gonna have werewolves again.
that's true. I mean, it's the natural progression.
Yeah. And the feature film that I saw was just released this weekend. It's called Beast, and it stars Idris Elba, Leah Jeffries, and Charlton Cooley. And it's basically about, and I had to write it down, due to poachers eradicating a pride of lions, one lion has gone rogue and has now made humans his enemy. So that's basically what's going on in this movie. And there's a lion going around terrorizing the villages and the people that he comes in contact with because his whole pride has been eradicated due to poachers. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty exciting. And I will just say, both of these features, there are moments in both of them where I was actually like tensed up, like really afraid of the scene that was happening. So as far as thrills are concerned, both of these get my thumbs up. They were pretty good to watch.
Nice. I remember when Beast was being in production and they were promoting it, and I don't know if you remember this and how true this is, but there was like some headlines that Idris Elba's daughter auditioned and didn't get the part, and she wouldn't like talk to him for a couple of weeks because she was mad at him.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So that's good.
It would have been nice to. I like to see when parents act with their children. It would have been nice to see her act in the film. A lot of people didn't know this, but in that Dahmer show, Niecy Nash's daughter plays her daughter in that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
If you really pay attention and look at the chemistry, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't have chemistry on screen. Who knows?
Right. Real quick, I didn't watch a lot, but I did start before I left for Cabo. Reasonable Doubt. It's on Hulu with Michael Ealy. The first I saw the first episode. Really, 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 really good. I won't go into details, but I'm not good at explaining it. Billy, so I was in Cabo, and so we were waiting to get dressed for the birthday dinner. Put on a movie, and they only had a few English speaking channels, and so Billy Madison came on with Adam Sandler. So I watched that, which I hadn't seen that in years.
Still good.
It was still good, still funny. He's a fool. And then there are a couple shows that I'm watching. Queen Sugar season 7, its finale airs tomorrow. Such a great series, but it ends tomorrow. So if you want to check that out, please do. And then 911 with Angela Bassett. That show never disappoints. She's the highest paid Black actress on TV, and that show, she deserves it. So yeah, but those are good shows, and just the storylines on 911 are good. Like you would, obviously we're not dispatchers, so but just to see the different calls they get, just random weird things that happen. Yeah. But anyway, so those are good shows. So is there anything coming down the pipeline for you guys?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, just a couple things. And Chike, maybe you're a big Addams Family fan. I don't know, but that Wednesday Addams trailer, have you seen that? It's
No.
Oh yeah, it looks fun. It's going to be a Netflix series, but it's basically Wednesday Addams going to like this academy, and in the academy, it feels like a kind of a Harry Potter thing, but it's more like everyone's weird and everyone has their own little quirks, and it's supposed to be like just the Addams Family universe back on a TV show, and Christina
Wow.
Ricci's back in it, and a lot of Catherine Zeta-Jones, a lot of famous people. But yeah, it looks like a fun series coming out next month.
Wow. I'll
Nice.
watch that. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Because the whole bit about that is I was going to ask you who was playing Wednesday, because that'll be the key. Whoever's playing Wednesday would be like pretty much the lifeline.
Yeah, I think it's Catherine Ortega. Does that name sound familiar?
Does I can see that. I can see
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Or
I
Jenna
can see that.
Ortega. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. She has the look.
Yep.
Well, I'm in it for Halloween. Let's one more time.
Mhm.
Halloween themes. Let's hear it. Jamie Lee Curtis. She wrote that book for a long time. Long time.
Yeah, she don't kill this man this time. I was talking about the movie because it's coming out, and and my friend of mine was saying that he believes that both of them are gonna die in this trilogy or whatever it is, because the last three are the same director. I don't think so though. I think she has to live. She has to live. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. I mean, it's such a big franchise. This is my hope and my wish. I'm hoping that the writing is so dynamic that they can afford to not make a movie for 5-6 years and then maybe revisit it.
Again?
The franchise is too big to ignore. He has freaking costumes. This has to live on forever.
40 years.
It's almost like the boogeyman. It's almost like the boogeyman.
It's too much money. Yeah.
The funny thing, she was on The View today. What's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis was on The View today, and she's actually starred in another haunted movie coming up. She's talking about, because they were asking her, would she do the movie she did with Lindsay Lohan, would they do a remake of that?
Oh, Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday, and she said that at this point in her career, she's open to just different things. Because she said, she would definitely do it, but she said, I'm actually going to be in another scary movie coming up that has to do with ghosts or something. And then I think she's talking about a Christmas movie, but I think, listen, I love her. I think she can do whatever she needs to do.
I've always loved her.
Yeah. She would. Do you remember Everything Everywhere All at Once that came out earlier this year? It took me so long to realize it was her in that movie, and I was like, "Wow!"
Well, she's getting Oscar buzz about that.
Yeah,
about that role.
She was great.
Yeah.
So I'll just say this, just for the sake of Hollywood and the writers and the creatives out there in the universe. There's life in some of these older stories. If we can't get super creative and imaginative and create new characters and new stories, there's a lot of life in some of these old stories, like what you did with Bates Motel, with the son and the mother prequel, the series that was brilliant, stuff like that. You can even revisit that whole Psycho thing again, but tell it more modern, but have it be more dark, if it can be any dark. But I think once you relate it to modern time and modern day to make the threat seem more relevant, I think it could be scarier. So I think it's a lot of juice and a lot of meat and a lot of old stories. And I just got that from us talking about Halloween and how they should never let it go. And hey, it's time for Jason to come back. We haven't heard from Jason in a minute.
I know Jason been chilling.
Well, we just got Hellraiser.
Yes, Hellraiser. That's another one.
They are bringing things back.
I'm looking forward. Get together, people. Get it together.
Yeah. Well, I love scary movies, so this is that season. I saw Hulu has its I forgot what they call it. Yeah, Halloween. Yeah, they have that. So definitely, I started watching this movie last night on the flight coming back, but I was asleep most of the time. So by the time I turned it on, I had like 30 minutes into the movie. But it's called Orphan First Kill, and that looks like it was setting up to be a good movie. So I screenshot the name of it so I can see if I can find it on one of the streaming services. But
Nice.
yeah, I love those kind of movies, especially this time of year. And everything has to be out. The lights have to be out.
Pitch black. Yep.
Pitch black, so I can get scared to death. But yeah,
Yeah, that's a good way to go to sleep.
right. Wake up with nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you all for letting us know what to spend our time and money on, what not to. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.
Thanks.
Right back after this.